spotlight. We continue to monitor the event in the Western Cape. The Uyinene Foundation today is hosting an event in memory of the teenager who was murdered at a Cape Town post office 2 years ago. Uyinene Mrwetyana was raped and murdered at a post office in Claremont. Her body was found dumped in Khayelitsha and set alight. Let's bring in Vanessa Poonah covering the story for us. Vanessa, very good afternoon to you. So talk to us about the memorandum that was received by the minister. What was contained in it?
Yes, Blaine, good afternoon to you. The proceedings have just come to an end here outside Parliament. Minister has indeed received that memorandum. And I think one of the big issues that has been highlighted by the foundation, the Uyinene Mrwetyana Foundation, is the establishment of a National Council into Gender-Based Violence. I'm going to speak to one of the organisers of today's event. They were a task team that were set up to assist the foundation in this postcard or post office to Parliament campaign. Emily O'Ryan. Emily, good afternoon to you. So we've heard Minister receiving the memorandum, agreeing that gender-based violence is not contained in this country, and also then committing to the establishment of this National Council for Gender-Based Violence. Just talk to us a bit about the other requests that you have put forward to Parliament, and what exactly at this point in time your reaction is to the response given to you by Minister.
Sure, thanks. So we have just handed over just under 12,000 and counting postcards. We have requested that by the 3rd of December, the National Council has been formed. The Minister has told us that she's going to do it in the month of August. I don't know how that would happen, but she seems to be reacting now with urgency, and we just hope that can be sustained. There are some conditions that we requested when we handed this in this petition. The one is that the Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide is made up of 51% civil society. Apparently there are only 4 people in that council at the moment. We've also requested that the council look into speeding up the cases of Tasneh van Wyk and Jessie Hess that are only going to be heard in 2022. We've requested that they look at the DNA backlogs and address them with the Department of Police. And then we have also requested that they do a feasibility study on converting the post office into a wellness centre for survivors.
Satisfied then at this point, with the campaign today. Of course, we know it's not just about Uyinene, and it's very commemorative this week, specifically the second year, marking the second year of her death. But like you've said just now, she became the face of gender-based violence. Her unfortunate rape and murder plummeted this issue, or pushed this issue to the forefront, if I can say that. But yet there are others without the names of Jessie Hess, Tasneh van Wyk, the Courtney Peters, and it's sad that we can even ramble off the names of the women that have been brutalized. And I'm just talking about here in Cape Town, for example, those women that still don't have recourse. And that is also, I suppose, what you said earlier on, is part of the campaign of this foundation, not just today, but going forward.
Absolutely. And this campaign we have been planning for months for every single family that has been affected by gender-based violence, of which there are too many. And they say words without action is just manipulation. And so as young people, especially as gender-based violence organizations, as the Uyinene Foundation, as schools across the country, we say that we refuse to be manipulated by our leaders into thinking that the way things are for our women and children especially is okay, because it is not okay, and it hasn't been okay for far too long.
Emily O'Ryan, thank you very much for speaking to us. Blaine, of course, one of the young people that were involved in today's campaign, and also then these march from the post office in Claremont, where Uyinene was murdered on the 24th of August 2019, to the proceedings that took place here today. And you've heard some of those demands and requests, the transformation of that police station, which some of even UCT students, just across the road this morning from the post office, buying a cup of coffee, one of the women telling me that she indeed was a student at that time, and that just looking at that post office brings back very, very sad memories. So that's of course one of the demands for that post office to be transformed into a wellness centre. And then of course the address of the 1,000-strong backlog, a DNA backlog that prevents justice for other women that have been victims of gender-based violence. For now, Blaine, I'll go back to you. The protest as well as today's programme having ended here with the handing over of that memorandum to Parliament.
All right, Vanessa Poonah, live for us in the Western Cape. Thank you.